Chatting a little bit, we had asked you yesterday to weigh in on News Channel 15's Facebook page and let us know what you would do should you win the Mega Millions jackpot, which was $356 million.
Yesterday. And if you didn't buy your ticket yesterday, well, you may have actually gotten lucky.
Doesn't really matter.
Because nobody won. So now that rolls over, and the next drawing, which is Friday night, is how much?
$476 million.
Wow. Cash payout, something along the lines of like $300-something million.
Yeah, you can just add whatever to your list. But you got to go buy a ticket. So I feel like there's second chances. I'm getting a second chance here.
And I was reading a story yesterday. It was saying a guy who's won apparently 7 times. He's won the lotto 7 times. Said,
Darren, the drama continues between Atlantic Beach Town Council members. On Tuesday, Mayor Retha Pierce had called an emergency meeting at the town hall, but when she showed up, the doors were locked. News Channel 15's Lindsay Thies has the story. Council's next meeting is scheduled for April 2nd. Governor Nikki Haley says there's absolutely nothing to allegations that she illegally lobbied state agencies while serving as a state representative. Governor Haley denied any wrongdoing during an exclusive interview with News Channel 15's Tim McGinnis Tuesday morning. House Democrats called on the governor to waive her right to confidentiality should a complaint be brought before the House Ethics Committee. The complaint in question stems from a lawsuit that was thrown out of a circuit court last week. The governor says the allegations are something a prominent upstate Republican and the state's Democratic Party chairman just can't let go.
What I will tell you is this is a crotchety old man, John Rainey, who's never liked me through the campaign, has now partnered with the worst, which is Dick Harpootlian, and they have watched the fact that the state Ethics Commission said that we did nothing wrong, that it has gone, a former U.S. attorney has said we have done nothing wrong. They took it to court, the court threw it out, and now they're continuing on with something.
You can watch the entire interview Sunday morning at 9 o'clock on Carolina This Week. That's right here on News Channel 15. A 7th District candidate is dropping out of the race. Attorney and TV show host Mandy Wilkes made the announcement Tuesday because she's expecting her first child this summer. Wilkes also announced that she's endorsing former Lieutenant Governor Andre Bauer, calling him a committed capitalist conservative. Wilkes hosts a paid program on WPDE. The latest CNN poll out shows most Republicans want former House Speaker Newt Gingrich and Texas Representative Ron Paul to drop out of the race for president. 6 out of 10 people surveyed actually were in favor of the option, but only 39% want Rick Santorum to end his bid. Another recent poll shows Mitt Romney has a sizable lead in nationwide support from Republicans with 36%, as Rick Santorum slips to 26%. The House introduced a measure aimed at securing our state's first in the South presidential primary. House Speaker Bobby Harrell says, as South Carolinians, we take our duty of selecting the next president of the United States very seriously. Since the election of President Ronald Reagan, South Carolina's first in the South primary has swayed huge national influence. More and more states trying to jump ahead of South Carolina each election. We need to take steps to protect our state's historic primary position. A record 600,000 South Carolinians voted in the January 21st election, and it's estimated that nearly $14 million was generated alone during the weekend of the Myrtle Beach debate. The League of Women Voters has asked a federal panel for permission to take part in a legal challenge to South Carolina's voter ID law. The all-volunteer group says the law would interrupt their election day duties. The group wants to play a role in the lawsuit filed by South Carolina against U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. It's over the Department of Justice's rejection of the requirement that all voters have a form of government-issued photo ID. The Justice Department blocked the law in December, saying it could keep tens of thousands of the state's minorities from casting ballots. State police are investigating a murder out of Latta, and police say that the man who was shot inside his home was able to identify the suspect before he died. It happened around 4 o'clock Tuesday morning. Police say that's when Willie Morrison shot 56-year-old Jesse Barr inside his home on Antonio Street. They say there was some type of struggle because Morrison was shot in the hand. According to officers, Barr managed to walk to a neighbor's house and told her Morrison had shot him. As you can imagine, area residents are shocked.
He was an overall nice guy. It hurts to know that he was gunned down like that. Very bad.
State police are analyzing a trail of blood from Barr's home. Morrison is in custody this morning, charged with murder. The cause of a fire that damaged a Grand Strand car dealership is under investigation. Horry County and Myrtle Beach firefighters were called to Lavin's cars on Jason Boulevard just before 6:30 Tuesday evening. Battalion Chief Randy Gardner says the fire destroyed 4 cars that were parked in the dealership's service garage. The interior of that portion also suffered severe smoke damage. No injuries were reported. The company that wants to put a large landfill in Marlboro County lost its lawsuit against several citizens. MMR Southern sued the group Citizens for Marlboro County for defamation. The group was pretty vocal about its opposition to what it calls the mega dump, which MMR wanted to put on a more than 900-acre site in Wallace. Posted its opinions in the local newspaper and on a website just calling for action against the landfill. The judge's order says the group believed that what it wrote was true, and MMR didn't prove convincing evidence of malice. Smoke-free Florence volunteers are celebrating the end of a successful campaign. Circle Park Behavioral Health Services received a $2 million grant. That was in the summer of 2010 for the Smoke-free Florence project. Although the grants run out, volunteers say it helped Timmonsville and the city of Florence pass smoking bans.
When you realize that we have been in really the tobacco belt of our country, for people to understand that we're not trying to hurt tobacco, that we're trying to help and have healthier people.
Smoke-free Florence has 28 churches adopted tobacco-free campuses, and nearly 100 teens were trained in tobacco prevention.
Next on Good Morning Carolinas on News Channel 15.
Little bizarre. Was it a breakdown or a mental episode? What JetBlue officials are saying about one pilot's actions that prompted passengers to step in and forced the emergency landing of the flight. Plus, one North Carolina city is no longer asking people on the roads to hang up and drive. It's enforcing it. Details of the law banning Chapel Hill drivers from using their cells.